I'm going to try my hand at a mock draft simulator, 6 rounds course for the Ravens. I do have some ideas here philosophically, which we'll get into. One of which is I think you got a double dip pass rush, whether that's the edge, a combination of the edge and something up the middle or interior, or 2 edge guys. I think there's room for that in this draft, depending on who's available. Still got Ojulari on the board there. He goes to Chicago. There goes Kwity Paye. I do think Kwity Paye could drop, just a sense. There goes Zaven Collins and Tevin Jenkins. Tevin Jenkins to the Browns. The good news there is I think Tevin Jenkins is gone by Tennessee. Collins could be gone earlier. I think that's a good pick. I mean, that makes good sense to me, Jacksonville. The Ravens would take a trade back here, I think, if there were enough on the board. Bateman's on the board. Humphrey's on the board. My guess is the Ravens are thinking wide receiver anyway, and they'd be really, really happy about Bateman here. They're going to take him. He's somebody you got to cover. It's very difficult to fill, and there's Phillips. Now, they would take Phillips, I believe, over him. There's a few players they would. Phillips, I doubt Phillips is hanging around at that point. Pittsburgh, always taking wide receivers. There's Tony to Pittsburgh. So it's interesting how this will fall for us. There's some good receivers still on the board. There goes Elijah Moore. Okay. So I feel good that I took that receiver early. He's somebody you got to cover, which seems obvious when you have a wide receiver. But okay. It's going to be edge here for me. Dickerson's really, really attractive. I'm not as high on him as most people are. They're really high on Dickerson. I find certain things about him that I'm not crazy over. Namely, his athleticism in space, second level blocking. He does stop his feet when you watch him in pass protection. Gets caught leaning at times. But I'm sure that's something I'm missing. And so to me, certainly without the injuries, I would probably take Dickerson here, but that makes me very nervous. I'm going to go edge here and take Peyton Turner. This is a guy ascending. That the Ravens could really put to work. Just a tremendous motor. He improved year to year, not just in numbers or production or any of that stuff, but just the way he played, his hand usage. He's got crazy length, 35 plus inches arms, and he's 6'6", 270. You might ask about where specifically he plays. To me, he's your rush backer. You got to drop him in coverage once in a while. So be it. We dropped Ferguson. We dropped Suggs. We're just talking about hook drops or flat. Or coverage to the flat. He can handle that. Maybe not the best at it, but he can handle that. And he's in the mold, I think, about 265, 270 of a lot of edge guys for the Ravens at the rush backer position. That's where we're going to play him. He also moves around a lot, which is very attractive, right? You can rush him inside as well. I think the Ravens will be happy with him in the second round. I'm going to be looking Ardarius Washington here, and there he is. To me, it's difficult to fill all the needs, certainly when you go into a draft. The Ravens' big need here, what do we got? A wideout. A wideout that kind of fell to us in the first round. We do need some offensive line help here. I do still want to double dip. I feel great about Ardarius Washington being there. I think that guy's, I don't want to use the word star, but man, is he instinctive. And you want to talk about things that a truly instinctive free safety bring you. A lot of times last year you would see, because Elliott's sort of new and sort of learning on the fly and coming off injuries and things like that, you would see Peters really hedging his bets, not wanting to get beat deep. That truly instinctive free safety will let Peters and the other corners really relax underneath at times. And he's a guy that can cover in terms of the slot. I love Ardarius Washington, and he fills like crazy. To me, his only knock is that he's 5'8". There are smaller players that have been successful. I'm going to go with him, or we went with him. All right, so we're on the fourth. Somebody offered us something in the fourth. Yeah, probably would take that. We'll see. We do want to double dip as far as rush, pass rush. I'm real interested in Osa here. He's not going to be around much longer. I like Deo Odingo. I think I'm pronouncing that very much. Just ruptured his Achilles, I believe. But this guy's really, really interesting in terms of his size, his athleticism, how strong he is, his length. We get two long guys. You might have to, I'm not sure what the recovery is on Deo here, whether he misses a whole year, but I think the value's undeniable. So far, we're missing pretty desperately in terms of offensive line, and I think we got to kind of go that way. Ravens would probably consider some form of cornerback at this point too. I think the edge class is pretty. There goes Osa. Edge class is pretty deep. You know, I don't know if you would go 3 deep for the Ravens. That would be overkill in most people's minds. But I would go probably 7 rounds of defense if left to my own devices. All right, so we're going to target Trey Hill, the center out of Georgia. Guys, I believe he's played 3 years. There he goes. Darn it. Okay. So much for that. Maybe we would have made a move there. An offensive tackle from Wisconsin is usually a safe bet. See if there's anything else I recognize here. Things get foggy here in the 5th. This guy's kind of a mauler with some move to him. They have him pretty far down. That doesn't seem to matter too much to me. I'm going to go with that guard there. Robert Jones out of Middle Tennessee. Wait a minute. Maybe not. Josh Palmer, if he's around back then, that's pretty good value. I don't think we need another wide receiver at this point. Yeah, this is a tough call. I'm going to go with the tackle here. And admittedly, I haven't watched him. I'm sorry to say. So probably not the wisest thing of me to do. That's a straight up guess. So I don't like that pick for that reason. But there's Josh Palmer. I think Josh Palmer is going to go a lot earlier, maybe the 3rd round. Let's see. Newsome is a different type of back. The Ravens receiver. The Ravens like Patterson. They brought him in. Bynum's a really, really good cornerback at California, and the value's really good here. I think you go either the corner or some good players in round, just getting into round 6. You know, Robinson, Bynum, Trey McKitty's a possibility. Jarrett Patterson, the Ravens like him a lot, or apparently they like him. They brought him in. Yeah, let's go Bynum. Just to keep another corner in the system. I think it was last year the Ravens had the Browns on the ropes early in that second contest, and then Jimmy Smith went down. You know, just keep another guy that you can bring up. Yeah, there's some good players around this late. McKitty, I'm probably going to take. I think possible a lot of people are sleeping on this guy. Let's go. I think that'll do it for us. I think we're up to 6 picks now, or 6 rounds of picks. See, there goes that guard to Pittsburgh. Rumph is interesting late. Rumph is a guy I would be interested in. So there we go. We were, I guess, fortunate to get Bateman down there. Turner, I love. Washington, I love. Love this. I would also be interested in the 4th round. The guy from UCLA, very, very much. very, very much. I think the upside here and the fact that he's injured might put him down to us at that pick. So, yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this draft. I'm going to go watch this fella. Sorry about that. I should have a better understanding of who I'm taking there. That was a straight need pick, but there we go. That's what our draft would be. Bateman in round 1, Turner round 2, Washington 3, Odengo, just a versatile guy. And then this Cole Van Lanen, a tackle out of Wisconsin. Cameron Bynum is a cornerback a lot of people are sleeping on. And McKitty, I could say the same about him. I'd be pretty pleased with this draft. As I said, it's difficult to find everything in the draft, and I feel I missed here in terms of some offensive line help. But anyway,